Hello, my fellow tubers and trollios. Chris here with telesplashgaming, and we're talking about good game covers today. Some of the best I think that have ever been made. For every yin, there's a yang, and I already did bad box art, and it was fun, and I plan on doing more because there's some terrible box art, just like there's some great box art. And I think this was really more important in the 80s and 90s, in gaming's kind of, early years of really being mainstream, and that was because there was no internet. As a kid, I didn't get to go online and look at a review 4 days before it was released, or try to get some, information. I had to go to Blockbuster. I had to go to my local, Butcheries grocery store. Yeah, Butcheries, that was the name of it. And I had to pick out these games based on the cover. And a lot of times, it didn't matter. The graphics in the game or the gameplay itself might have freaking sucked. But if the cover was cool, at least the excitement of getting it home was awesome. Then you turn it on half the time and you're just disappointed knowing you have it for 3 days and you're out $4. But anyway, that's how you used to do it. You used to pick a game based on the cover. Nowadays, it's more just for art. They're really great still, but it doesn't really matter what the game looks like so much on the outside because you typically are going to know before you even play the game whether it's worth playing and what the reviews are. So, some games are old on this list, some games are newer, but these are about a dozen of the best video game box art, I think, in existence. Alright, so I'm actually going to go through these on my computer with you guys, and we're going to talk about them and kind of see if you guys think the ones I picked out are worthy of making the top game covers of all time. So, let's go right into it with a classic in the survival horror, and that's Alone in the Dark. As you can see here, a virtual adventure game inspired by the works of H.P. Lovecraft. Now, this started off as kind of an H.P. Lovecraft style game, and then I think they've actually ventured on and on. As you can see here, super cool. Walking up, what's not scary about a haunted house? I mean, honestly, as a kid especially, like this was a game that maybe I wouldn't have even picked out because it was scary. And Alone in the Dark has actually kept up with kind of some similar. Look at this next one here. Alone in the Dark for the PS2, The New Nightmare. Kind of a similar look when it comes to the old school, released in 92, and then this newer version, for the PlayStation 2, The New Nightmare. Kind of a scary, haunted house look, updated visuals, a little more realistic, but still, Alone in the Dark. I think these are kind of two peas in a pod, some of the coolest covers I've ever seen. Moving on to one that I have never played. This is a game that I've never played. That's Bioshock. For me, this cover has always made me want to play the game. Even as an adult, I was like, this game looks awesome, and I've only had more and more intrigue because of how amazing this series has been reviewed. And unfortunately, I just haven't picked up the game and played it. I really need to, but Bioshock is one of the coolest covers. I mean, I think they're called like Big Brothers or whatever they're called. We got the drill on the arm. I mean, it looks super nautical. Obviously, this takes place in the water, but I mean, for me, like, this is a cool cover, and even as an adult, I saw this and I was like, that game looks sick. The next one really needs no introduction. Borderlands. I mean, this is such a simple cover, but it's the simplicity sometimes that makes things incredible. I mean, look at this. This guy is essentially putting a gun to his head with his fingers, but instead of a bullet, obviously, it's just like, boom, this imagination, like a bullet is coming out the other side, and you see the gameplay with the weapons and the, the cars, the vehicles, and it just looks like he's shooting himself in the head with a fake weapon, and it still shows the after effects instead of being blood. It's like a memory. It's pretty cool. Like, it's just unique. It's very simple, but I think it's one of the best covers I've seen, definitely in the last, few years. Oh, Diablo 2. Now, Diablo 2, this game was so sick, and maybe part of it's because of nostalgia, because there's lots of cool covers, and this one itself maybe isn't the most amazing, but when Diablo 1 came out, it was kind of cool, but Diablo 2, this really set the tone, and it needed no introduction when it was released, and this cover was sick. I remember seeing it. I mean, this was a game that I put a ton of hours into. I mean, you have this skeleton, this demonic-looking skeleton, the flaming Diablo 2 logo, Blizzard across the top, and I don't even know what kind of words are around the edges here, but this is sick. I mean, come on, Diablo 2, it's a classic game, and it has a classic cover. Another game that is an instant classic, and how does Doom not make the list? Let's be honest, everybody knew Doom was going to be on this. When you were a kid and you saw this, you were freaking like, holy crap, this game looks insane. I mean, the best part is, I like the little demon in the bottom left here, who's like kind of peeking at you like, hey, there you go, like giving you that little winky wink. So that's like one of my favorite parts, is there's a little humor in there. Like they're all going after, you know, this protagonist of the game, and then you look down the corner, there's this guy giving you a little wink, like a little last hurrah. So I don't know, the art's amazing, and the guy's getting taken out by a bunch of demons. You see him blasting, you got these demons crawling up, his buddies in the background waiting for a high five. So Doom, classic game, and one of the best covers, I believe, of all time. Well, this is an arcade classic, an NES classic. It's a classic, Double Dragon 2. Now, as a kid, I remember this one specifically because I thought, dude, that chick's a babe. Even when I was younger, I thought that. And she's still a babe, all right? She still holds up. But yeah, I mean, this game was awesome. The two brothers are sitting there fighting off some hoodlums from the streets. You got the whip in one hand, the babe in the other. You got a helicopter coming at them. And I love how the revenge is just right underneath in red. Just, we're coming back for you, bro. So Double Dragon 2, a classic cover, a classic game, and still fun to play to this day. This is a newer game that I have actually never played, seen a lot of videos of it, just haven't really had a chance to get into it, and that's Hotline Miami. But, I mean, this cover is wacko. Like, I'm not even sure I consider it one of the best, but I'm going to for this list. It is so unique. I mean, you got these horse, chicken, owl-headed dudes at the top in their Letterman's jackets. Down below, you got this corpse that just got mangled. I mean, I don't know what happened. Somebody drove over the corpse a few times, ran it over, back and forth, put it in reverse, put it forward, put it in reverse. I mean, this corpse is mangled. Then you got this pig-headed dude that looks like he belongs in like Manhunt, holding on to a chick who just got roofied. Got this bloody bat in his hand, this club. Got a guy with him, you know, like an AK-47. I mean, I don't know what's going on. This game is chaos, so it definitely makes sense, and this cover is just crazy, and the art behind it's just wacko. So anyway, Hotline Miami, one of the coolest covers I've seen in a long time. A hidden gem among Xbox players, and this is Jade Empire. Everybody knows, you know, about BioWare because of so many of their huge games, their Mass Effect series, their KOTOR, Knights of the Republic, but Jade Empire is the hidden gem on the Xbox, and many people have played it and say it's amazing, but it's due for like a remake, a remaster. But this art is awesome. You got you got a chick in the front with a little midriff showing, you got this ninja in the background hanging out, you got a couple dudes down below, the little demon, I mean the dragon kind of symbol in the background with like the clouds. I mean, it's a pretty sweet cover, and the game is amazing. It's definitely a hidden gem that I've talked about a few times, and one that I actually need to spend more time. I've never even put more than a couple hours into, but it's sick, and it's right along the lines of Knights of the Old Republic. Speaking of Knights of the Old Republic, I'm a Star Wars fan. I am a straight up nerd alert when it comes to Star Wars. But even if you're not, if you're a fan of RPGs, this is a pretty sick cover. I mean, let's be honest. You have, you know, Bastille in the front, HK-47, and you got Darth Malak in the background. This game is sick, and the cover when I was a kid, I wasn't even a kid, I was in high school, but this cover was awesome, and it goes down as one of my top 10 games of all time. I mean, my top 5 rotates all the time, but this is definitely a top 10, you know, staple in my list. And this cover is awesome. I mean, it's everything you love about Star Wars. Lightsabers, you got a Sith Lord, you got Jedi, you got, you know, ships in the background. I mean, everything about this cover screams Star Wars, and it lived up to the hype for sure. Next one up is Out of This World, or Another World as it's called, and there's a bunch of different covers, but they're all pretty cool. So we had the Super Nintendo cover first. This is the very first one that I ever saw, and as a kid, I was confused. I'm like, what in the heck is this? You got this snaggletooth looking scary beast, you got a pterodactyl up top, you got an octopus tentacle coming out, you got a dude who's like in the Twilight Zone looking with New York City or something in the background, but it was pretty cool. And then you have the original cover, which is more of a play on actually what the game looks like, with kind of the red-headed dude with the black shirt and kind of green, you know, pants on. That's kind of what the graphics look like in the game, more or less, but it's still a crazy picture. It's like, and then you have his little buddy down here. I forget. I think his name might be Buddy, actually. Who's an alien dude. It's just cool. Like, it just kind of sets the tone, and the art behind it's pretty rad. So I always thought Out of This World was cool. And then, you know, the Genesis version is way different. It kind of gives you your buddy again. The tentacles are there, the beast. I think it's my least favorite of the 3 Out of This World covers, but they're all pretty cool, so I thought I'd include them on there. Alright, this is a game I've never even played, never even heard of until I started doing research for this list, and that's Phoenix for the Atari 2600. I mean, this cover is sick. I mean, this thing has, obviously, these phoenix, or these birds flying around, there's planets, it looks like a battle going on, a space station, I don't know what it is, but it's pretty rad. So, I'm sure, I can guarantee that the gameplay does not hold up to what the cover was putting out, but if you were someone renting games, or you were at the store and needed to buy a game, this game probably sold you on just the box art alone. This is a game that I honestly don't even like, but I've got to give it props. I can't deny that it's an amazing cover. SimCity 2000. Now, I've made it very clear that I hate building games. I hate having to do anything Minecraft, Fortnite building. I mean, I like the shooting, I like the playing, I like the action. I'm not a builder, I'm not creative, and I don't like SimCity. But man, this cover is pretty cool. I mean, when this came out, SimCity 2000, I remember seeing this cover, and I played this game because of the cover. You know, it looks like you got like this Seattle Space Needle took off, you got the flying saucer, you got this city down below, you got the sports arena, you got the high-rise, the bridges, the river, the boats. It had kind of everything. It was really a cool cover, and this was a really well done game for those who liked building, got great reviews, and it's a classic. For me, I'm not big into the, city simulators. Alright, we're moving on to the last game. Now, this is a game, again, that I've never played, never even heard of. It's not even a localized game. I believe it's like Japan only, but it's called Jade Empire. But it's got that super, like, steampunk look to it, and I thought it was pretty rad. So, I don't know much about it, but I thought the cover was pretty awesome. It's got this, I don't know what kind of flying vessel this is. I'm guessing it has something to do with what you do in the game, but it's like almost like you're x-raying it, super steampunkish. I thought it was just cool. The art's rad. It would be one of those that I would actually buy and put on my wall if I was looking for like some gaming art, because it's pretty bad. Pretty bad, actually. So anyway, that's the last game on the list. Alright, so that's going to round out, a few of the games that I think have some of the best box art ever made. So what do you guys think? Tell me some games that you think have some of the best box art. This will be probably one of a few videos. There's a ton of other games I could have put on here, but I like to keep my videos short and sweet, under 10 minutes typically. So with that being said, thanks a lot. Thanks for tuning in. If you like the content, make sure to subscribe, ring that notification icon, give me a like, leave a comment down below. I appreciate all the support I've gotten, guys. We're working our way to 1,000. I'm going to do a pretty good giveaway when we get there, so keep an eye out for that video. With that being said, keep trolling, keep rolling. We'll talk to you soon.